All right, hey guys, it's Y2, and today we're going to be focusing towards one of the main topics for today, which is going to be the art of diamond hands, aka also holding your contracts, even though you're down -80, -90%, trying to, number one, break even, number two, trying to make profits. Today was one of those days where my contracts was down all the way down to -85%. And my theta was up to a point that even if I were to get QQQ up to $2, $3, I still would have been at a -50% loss. And today's Jan 23rd, Tuesday. I'm going to be showing you how I applied three key resources that I want you to apply so that you can follow the same exact setup what I usually do, especially getting into whether it could be ETFs, stocks, options, or just in general, anything that you're looking forward to. So let's get into it. First things first, if you open Safari, I want you to type US market. Actually, just type in market watch speakers, market watch speakers. So first things first, that's going to be is US economic calendar. And since today is Tuesday, January 23rd, there's nothing scheduled. So when that happens, you should have this thing in mind that market is going to be hella choppy. It's going to be going sideways, whether it's going to go up, down, or just in one position. So it's a really risky take, especially if you were to get into contracts in the first place. But, we're traders. We're trying to hit the 20, 30% mark and follow the 2 out of 3 rule of thumb. So first things first, as soon as I woke up, I'm like, oh, today there's nothing scheduled. Okay. I wonder what other news there is in order for me to place any contracts, whether it's gonna go up or down, calls or puts. So this is where Barron's will play its part. If you type Barron's, I'm gonna walk you through Barrons, Barron's, and then scroll down, Barron's Financial. So this is the web page. I just want to let you guys know that you don't need to have the premium version for this. It's basically free. So all you need to do is go all the way to its left, click on the Align tab, and click Real-Time Analysis. It's right on top of Barron's 400. You're going to be clicking on Real-Time Analysis. You may go ahead and click that. And we can see the red basically indicates what is going on right now. Netflix stocks jump on subscriber beat. There was a huge 13, 15% worth of increase that brought Netflix up to $40. And now you guys are going to be asking me, why too? Why didn't you place any trades? And I'll be very honest with you, $1,300 a contract is no joke. The thing with buying heavy contracts, especially how expensive it is, can always go sideways where your $1,300 a contract would literally turn into zero. So that is something that you need to keep in mind. So the red indicates the live reports. It is currently happening right now, and the black is basically past events. And we know that the market has closed. It's been like 2 hours since the market has closed. So we're going to be seeing some key events that supported my contract for QQQ. All right, here's one. US consumers want affordable EVs. The industry isn't listening, so not so good for Tesla. Here's another one. US indexes ended Tuesday mixed as Formula One, CA, LED, Logitech, International lagged. This was basically the time where, the market has closed. So we're gonna go an hour before. Let's go to the 4 hours time frame. All right, perfect. Here. Microsoft Future is all about AI investments. They want to see data. RTX stocks jumps on earnings beat. It literally happened during the market. Stocks could surge in adult 2024. There's a lot of reports where other news reports are trying to, you know, pull the stock market down, but that really does not help. So just in general, just like watching the key events, It's pretty neutral. There's a lot of good news, there's a lot of bad news, there's a lot of news that's focusing towards EV markets or just in general Bitcoin as well. And we really know what's happening with Bitcoin. It's currently low towards the year. It was all the way up to 47K and it's currently down to 38K. So that is honestly insane. So this is a really great site that you can evaluate where the market's gonna go. So Barron's, real-time data. Number three, you have Wall Street Journal, WSJ. And the thing that I really like about WSJ is you can go ahead and let me show you. Let me type in Wall WSJ and click the link. And here is you're going to be seeing the search tab. What I want you to do is every time you get into an option, it could be NVIDIA's, it could be SPY, it could be Tesla. Put it in your search bar, type TESLA, and you're going to be seeing the US NASDAQ, Tesla Incorporated. You can go ahead and, click on that. And the first things first that's going to show you is the financials of Tesla. It's going to be showing you the stock price of Tesla. We know that it went all the way up to 214 and then it made a huge dip towards the end, which basically happened yesterday as well. We can see the one-day report open to 14 all the way down to 209. So there's a tab that not many know about, but I will show you what is so special about it. You're gonna go ahead with research and ratings, and you're going to click options. You may go ahead and click options, all right? And scroll down. You will see calls and puts. The left side is calls, the right side is puts. And the way I see it is the more puts that's placed, the more chances of calls being, the more chances of your calls are going to hit. So more puts basically means chances of calls. And if there's more calls, basically means a downtrend of those puts. Basically, Tesla's going to go down. So we're going to scroll down towards the 210 strike price. All right. 210 strike price. This is the last trade. We can see there's a huge amount of orders when it comes to the puts, then the calls. We can see there's a volume 13K, 2.9, and then we can also see the calls itself. But keep in mind, we're checking also the changes, the price changes, as well as the price changes for the calls. So since there is more uh, evaluation towards the puts, calls will then play its part. And that's what basically happened. We can see there's so much volume. Number two, there's more of the open interest in terms of, comparing it to the call section. So this is something that really needs to be heavily focused on. So when I saw like, oh my God, there's currently, more of puts being bought up rather than calls, I knew that the calls would pay out. If you go to the Yahoo Finance and type TSLA, all right? You may go ahead and type that link. And we can see around this range, around the 1:30 p.m. range, Tesla was all the way down to 207.93. And the puts order started to play in. A lot of heavy puts was being played. And it went all the way up to 209, a little bit dip, 209.15, which is pretty good, decent gains, 20-30%. I would take that any day. So when you see, like I mentioned, I'm going to make this as easy as possible for you. You do not you do not need charge for this. When you see a lot of puts being mentioned, go with the calls. When you see a lot of calls being mentioned, if you see such high numbers for the calls, go with the puts. It's just a rule of thumb, you're basically buying out the bears, and the bears are trying to buy out the bulls. So it's a one-on-one game. So you have Barron's as a real live report. You have Wall Street Journal Market, like I mentioned. If you go to the research and ratings and just type, go ahead and click options, you will find this tab. Not many people know about it, but I want you to be specialized in it. You also have Yahoo Finance. It's a really average you know, financial updates. If you want to know what the stock price, just type it in. And if you go to historical data, all right, and instead of the daily, we can go ahead with weekly, and the dates can be a 5-day term and apply. You can then go ahead and download this file. You can go ahead and download this file and then import it to the Y2H Excel sheet. Let me show you. Is this Excel sheet right here? I made it as precise as possible for you guys. So all you need to do is basically just input the data. So right now we can see, I've mentioned Apple as a 5-year term. This is basically a project that I want you to, you know, practice. I was basically walking a student about a week ago, teaching him how I would apply it through, my options or contracts in general. So all the calculations has been done for you. The formula has been set. So even if you were to put 20 right here, automatically the price also changes. If you put 50, you know, it changes for you. So you don't need to do anything manually. The only thing I need to do is just input the data and automatically your calculations will then proceed towards three things: weekly returns, annual returns, monthly returns, and then the average CI report. Once you get the CI report, and if it's positive, you will then get an idea, okay, that stock will potentially, especially within the weekly term, is going to go up. And this is a positive number, plus 0.52, the CI report, which basically gave a huge upside towards the call section. Like I mentioned, this is the days of 2015 to 2019, 5 year term. But what I want to do, instead of the 5 year term, go with the 5 days term. You're playing with contracts, you're not playing with stocks, so there's a huge difference. All you need to do is input the data. That's all you need to do. So there is that. And another thing, I'm going to be teaching you the art of diamond hands. So we know that I got into QQQ and my contracts, my profits was all the way up to $5.2 thousand, and it went all the way down to 2.1K. Uh, Honestly, if I were you, I would respect my stop loss and just go ahead and trade the next day. But I've checked the news. I've checked three resources that was helping me out. I used Bloomberg Terminal. Number two, I used WSJ Markets for my key events, as well as Barron's. I was also using Barron's just to look through what is happening live. There's a lot of live footages. You could even listen to podcasts. There's so many free resources that you could use with Barron's that not many people, know of. It's a really underrated website. You also have Market Watch speakers. There was nothing happening in the market today. It was pretty slow, it was pretty choppy, getting into those contracts, even though I brought the portfolio up to 5.2K. Remember, I was down to 2.1K at the point, and then it went all the way up to 4.8K. So, the way I see the psychology of diamond hands, if you think positive, if you think, there's no negativity going around, if you're thinking, oh my God, there's so many puts being placed, I don't know what to do. I'm currently down -50, -60% with my portfolio. What should I do? This market isn't meant for you then. Just don't play during times where it's so choppy or it's going sideways. We knew that today was going to happen. We knew that today was a day where you're just trying to make the 20-30% returns, and today was the day where I basically made my returns from being up to 5.2K, going down to 2.1K, and then up to 4.8K. I know that $300 is not enough, but I would take anything that would, you know, save me from this massacre. The way I see it, I feel like I made 100% profit on this, even though, yes, it's just a $300 return, but this was a really great comeback. Portfolio being down to 2.1 and now up to 4.8K. So three key resources, use it, apply it, And that's where you're going to be started, holding your contracts. If you see any negativity and if you see that there's no potential, go ahead and sell. It's totally up to you. But there was just really no news. Why would the stock market even go down? Futures was up, within our play. Nvidia was going all the way up. Tesla was going pretty sideways. Um, it was all, under our hands. And this is why I told you guys, I see 423 coming. I see 424 coming. And what happened? 423, it went all the way up to like 423.80. We made our profits, we made our gains, and that's where the group got silent. They knew that even though I was down negative 80%, I made my profits. And that's how, the mindset of trading, the mindset of psychology, of setting I'm not asking you to set up a mental stop loss. It's more of a mindset loss. There's huge difference because one, instead of me asking myself, oh, I should probably set a stop loss of negative 20%, negative 30%. I can blow my portfolio. I didn't go for the stop losses. I only went for stop win. I asked myself, instead of me selling it for like 0.60 per contract, I'm gonna go ahead and sell it for 1.30. I'm gonna set a stop win. I'm not gonna set a stop loss. I'm gonna set a stop win. And this is what I applied. I told it, I told the group chat, set limit sell 1.30. Instead of me mentioning, set it at 1.20, set it at 1.10. No, we're here to make returns. And especially when news is by my side, our side, just go ahead and follow my rule. And I've mentioned this way many times. If you're seeing 20%, go ahead and book the 3 out of 4. Book the 3 out of 4. Book the 3 out of 4. And then play with the runners. At this point, I didn't really care about it. The only thing that I've had was Yahoo Finance alerts. Hey Yahoo, just alert me whenever QQQ hits 423. I started getting alerts, and that's where, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and mention the group chat that, you can go ahead and book your profits again and again and again. And it happened 3 times. 3 times today, we hit the 20% mark. So yet again, no excuses of booking any else. My portfolio does not lie. A lot of analysts out there do not show, your portfolio, but I was down 2.5 and then making my profits up all the way up to 4.8. So, like I mentioned, in order for you to master diamond holding, especially when it comes to contracts, ODTE, or just in general, anything, play with the news, play with the news, play with the news, go with the news. If you see any positivity, go with it. Please do not go against it. I'm not asking you to play with charts. Charts is a good thing. It's always good to have supportive, trends within your 5, 10, 15 minutes time frame, but that's not the way I play it. I have 3 main free resources. That is something that I want you to use so that it could be beneficial. Play the way I play. I'm a very simple trader. You don't need to have $1 million setup or anything that needs you to pay $2,000 to $3,000 a month for a package. Even though I have that, I use BBA terminal. It's something that I use for all of you guys, just so that everyone can benefit. So, um, next time, play with the positive mindset, and that is where you're going to be seeing profits. So yeah, end of the day, we made $300. My initial target for this week is to hit the 10K mark. I still have 3 more days. I have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 more days. I'm going to be off today. I'm going to be off tomorrow. Basically, a school day off that I'm taking just so I can hit those numbers again. So once the 10K mark hits, the next target will be 20K by next week. So that's pretty much it. All right. Thanks for watching. This is Y2.